I didn't even go violent and toss it. Ah! Okay. Just kidding. Just kidding. Calm. Zen. Well, welcome to the show. My name's Dave, and this is the Not So Ancient Chinese Secret Show. And every day, weekday, we kind of come here and we shoot the breeze for about 10-15 minutes until I toss that clock and this red arrow disappears. And then we talk about the topic at hand, which today is Amazon Prime and why you should try it. And even if you're a Canadiana, And one thing I want to talk about before that is the announcements. And so for the announcements today, there's two things. One, a lot of people ask me, hey, dude, how do you do those live streams? And so I created livestreamgeek.com. And I also use free software to get all of this magic onto the screen, etc., etc. And so, but there's a lot of problems with the free software, but I actually made a video guide so that you guys can learn how to do this yourself. So you can check that out. There's links in the description as well. And the last thing is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is 11 a.m. Mountain time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you're anywhere else in the world, I have no idea what time that is. But we are going to have a special guest, and his name is Rob Brown, and he is from Panasonic. He's going to bring some toys of his favorite toys, and we're going to shoot the breeze about stills and video with Panasonic's latest and greatest. And so I'm quite excited because I've been researching Panasonic cameras for quite a bit now for clients who have hired me to consult for livestreamgeek.com. And so I reached out and I'm excited to have him on tomorrow. Be there. That'd be awesome. Okay, now let's get it together and talk about the topic at hand. We're going to talk about Amazon Prime and why you should try it. And even if you're in Canada land and not an Americano, I'm not even talking about Americano, the coffee. I'm just talking about Americano. Cool. All right. So, by the way, there's always links in the description, and I do update them as well. If I forgot something, missed something, or thought of something else, then the links are always going to be updated as well. So right now, there's some things, Amazon Prime, what is it? So Amazon.com, the, Earth's biggest store, whatever. Yeah. Well, everybody kind of knows where it is. You just go to Amazon.com, or for Canadians, Amazon.ca, or for UKians, United Kingdomians, British people, Amazon.co.uk, right? But sometimes it doesn't make sense to buy online, and sometimes it does. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of why even Prime membership makes sense. Well, what is Prime membership, right? Often it's going to give us not only free 2-day shipping for those of us in a major center in Canada and for all of the US pretty much, but it'll also give you early access to deals, as well as today was very special, or tomorrow is Prime Day, and there's deals that are only available to Prime members, all right? But I've been a Prime member of Amazon.com for actually about 5 years, and I only switched to Amazon.ca about 2 years ago because the Canadian Amazon.ca website, it was ridiculous. It was so poorly populated with stuff. And even today, we're going to talk about this as well in the cons, you can't get a lot of stuff that you can get in the States from Amazon.ca. So it's kind of ridiculous sometimes. And even if you go on to Amazon.com, you can't have it shipped to you in Canada, which is even more ridiculous sometimes. Because as a Canadian, if I can't get the product, I would even pay extra to get it shipped to me in Canada. But sometimes they just don't allow that, okay? But Amazon.ca has increased their list of stuff for selecting stuff. But one of the major reasons why I love Amazon, and whether you're not a Prime member, you can take advantage of this, is their reviews, right? So I don't know how many times I found myself in an actual store locally, and then I not even wanted to price check, although I do that, being a good consumer, right? But I also wanted to make sure that the item itself was of good enough quality to warrant investing in. And so I'll go on to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca and read all the reviews while I'm sitting there in the aisle just to make sure, is this a good purchase? Am I spending my money wisely? And so the reviews are a big reason why I actually like to shop at Amazon or even take advantage of their website, okay? Now, we talked a little bit about selection, and it's a pro and a con. Okay, so the pro is that, of course, they've got like a huge range of things, everything from like literally tea bags to you could buy like expensive stuff on Amazon. Not cars yet, but maybe one day, right? And I mean, they just bought Whole Foods, right? They bought Whole Foods. That's going to be nuts. And so there's not a lot that you can't buy on Amazon. But again, for those of us outside of the US, the selection is going to be varied. And that's going to be one of my cons lists, okay? Now, this is why Prime membership really makes sense, okay? You have exclusive pricing available to you. And sometimes that comes on things like Prime Day, which is going to start literally today, and that's going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern time in Canada. It's going to start, and Prime Day only started 2 years ago in 2015, I believe. And what happens is that it's pretty much like Black Friday in July. But of course, it's only on Amazon, and it's only for Prime members. But here's the kicker: there's no downside to signing up for a 30-day trial, because you can get all access to the Prime deals even if you just sign up for a trial, and then you can cancel. Just put it in your calendar, make sure you cancel it before the 30 days and they charge you, right? And then you can also get all your stuff. All right, so it's kind of nice to be able to try before you lock in for the membership, which is like $80, I believe, in Canada, or $100 in the US. Okay, the reason why it's cheaper in Canada is because there's less services available to us. But I mean, we're used to that because we're in Canada, right? Okay, cool. Now, oh, by the way, Daniel D on YouTube says hi, so I must say hello. Thank you for writing in. It warms my heart. Okay, anyways. Okay, now back to your regular programming. The other thing that that you also get for Prime members is sometimes items are going to be less expensive on Amazon for Prime members. For example, I find that a lot of Amazon Basics, anybody like know Amazon Basics? Like they sell like batteries, Amazon bags, etc. that are branded Amazon Basic, right? And some of those items I find are less expensive if you're a Prime member. And so that's really cool that even throughout the year you get benefits. So even if you miss Prime Day, there's benefits to getting into a Prime membership. And we'll talk a little bit more too, but there's also exclusive pricing like lightning deals. And so lightning deals are pretty much time limited deals that are only available for Prime members. And sometimes we'll have exclusivity, or sometimes we'll get like early access to a deal. And I'm not sure if those of you who watched my Zhiyun Crane episode on, my favorite gimbal, well, that's how I bought the gimbal as well as the two handlebars, because it came in a lightning deal that made it as cheap to buy the actual gimbal with the bars as buying the gimbal alone in the US for me. And so it just made sense for me, even though, I don't like the handlebars. Okay, so lightning deals are another reason why Prime membership makes sense. Okay, all right. Now, here's another thing. Of course, the convenience of 1 to 2 day shipping. I have no idea how they do it, but we've had stuff shipped to us on Sunday. And it's even crazier because they use like everything from Canada Post, of course, but they also use like UPS, and they use these like crazy small little delivery people that I have no idea what their brand is, and it just shows up at my door. It's amazing. Now, I will do a review later on the Ring. And so we have a little Ring thing that allows me to know when somebody leaves something at our door, right? So there's a video and we can see what's at the door. So even if you're away, because sometimes most often they'll just drop off the box at your front door. And if you don't have like a nice neighbor to call, you should, because people can steal stuff and just take your boxes right away, because they usually don't need signing for any of the Amazon stuff that we've had, okay? Now, the cool part is also the easy returns, okay? Now, I'm not sure if it's just me and because I'm like Asian and apologetic and too nice, but I used to think that, oh man, it's bad if I ever returned anything, right? But it's actually not bad. And as a consumer, we should be able to try stuff and make sure that it's of the quality that we wanted to keep, right? And so the cool thing about their return policy is that, one, is very generous for the return time in scope, and two, the Amazon makes it super easy to do returns. And so you just click on returns on all your orders, and then you have your choice of sending it back through Canada Post, and they'll print off the label for you, or drop it off at your nearest UPS store. And both of those just make it so convenient to do returns. It doesn't make sense not to purchase on Amazon if that's item that you're looking for. Cool. Now there's other reasons, and don't take advantage of any of them. And for us Canadians, a lot of them aren't going to be as valuable to us because we don't have access to a lot of it. And there's Amazon Video, there's Amazon Music, but I mean, we have Netflix, we have Spotify, and I believe those options, as of the making of this video, are still better than Amazon's options. But there's also other reasons that and benefits that Prime gives you as well. And again, we've got links down below in the description that will tell you a little bit about that and how to become a Prime insider. So all of the benefits that you get when you sign up to get Prime, okay? But it's not all roses, of course, and there's a lot of cons too. And we talked about a couple of them already. Now, price. Now, it was on the pro list, but it's also on the con list because you can't just think that, okay, Amazon's giving me the best price, because they have to factor in the shipping price usually, right? And so I know Amazon works on super thin margins, but still sometimes I find that their pricing is going to be higher than the local stores. And so don't just think that because Amazon, has it for this price, that is the be all and end all. There's actually algorithms, and if you'll notice, they fluctuate the pricing of their items quite quickly. From even day to day, it can shift. And so sometimes drastically and sometimes very little, but we're going to get down to the tips and see how you can track pricing and save money on your Amazon orders too. So, and then reviews. Sometimes you can't really trust them, okay? Because I know even as a YouTuber, people will send me stuff and ask me, hey, can you review this? And so a lot of times you can't trust the reviews, or they just use bots and they hire people to uprank them, okay? So make sure that you don't take their reviews for face value and learn to spot fake reviews, but that's going to be beyond the scope of this, all right? Now, the other thing is ethics. I know some people who work at Amazon, and even though they're happy and well paid, there's that big article. Was it in, I forget which publication, but it talked about an Amazon warehouse worker's life, and it didn't seem very happy or cheery. And so there is this stigma that Amazon perhaps doesn't treat their workers the best. But so you have to take that in as well. So what is the cost of getting all these products and services for us, right? And the other thing is, should we support our local businesses? And sometimes that's a resounding yes. And sometimes that's well, let's see what value they have to add to that as well. And so all those are different things that we have to consider as we're considering Prime membership and ordering off of the internet, okay? So Eric said, bought a new item the other day using Prime, was $17.99 on Amazon.com, $54.99 on Amazon.ca, exact same item. Yes! And so Eric, I hate how we have to, as Canadians, shop Amazon itself, right? Because sometimes on Amazon.com, this is a great point, by the way, thank you for bringing it up. Amazon.com will offer the exact same item as Amazon.ca, and even with the customs, brokerage, and shipping fees to Canada from the US site, it'll be way cheaper from the .ca site. So why can't Amazon, in their genius and with all of their brain power, just create one site for all of us around the world that we can just shop and know the lowest price instead of having to shop Amazon.com versus Amazon.ca, etc. And so it doesn't make any sense, but totally hear you on that, Eric. So you definitely have to shop Amazon itself. But here's some tips, and I should add that one too, Eric, because that's a great point. Shop Amazon.com even if you're buying from Amazon.ca, right? Because sometimes the exact same item will be cheaper, and that's significant. Is it crazy? Now, the other thing is lightning deals. They're not just for Prime days. Look out for them throughout the year, and you're going to get access to items that you might be interested in at one, a special discount, and two, for a very limited time. And so, for example, when I bought my gimbal, that was literally a one-day lightning deal. And I just happened to stumble across it. And I was shopping across Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, and B&H. So I was shopping all these different sites, and Amazon.ca in this time had the best price, but not always. And so again, you have to shop it. Now, here's another place that you might want to check out. And I have no affiliation and I get no money when you use it, but I use this personally as well. It's called Camel Camel Camel. And we've got links, of course, in the description, but it's just Camel Camel Camel. And this site gives you a historical price check of Amazon.com and Amazon.ca. Now, it doesn't work for all items, especially in Amazon.ca, because I don't think there's enough people using Amazon.ca yet to keep a history of every item on there. But for a lot of popular items, you can check the historical data to see what the lowest prices of that particular item were. The coolest part about this service, though, is that you can put in your desired price and Camel will email you an alert when your item goes below that pricing. Now, caveat, there has been some times when it's emailed me and it's like, hey, your pricing has hit this low. And then I click on it and it hasn't hit that low. So I'm not sure if sometimes the algorithm's wrong or if it's not factor in prime shipping and all this jazz, but or maybe I just missed the deal. I don't know, but it doesn't always work. So Camel will get the affiliate commission when you use them, but definitely use that if you're looking for stuff and aren't in a rush, of course, because then you can wait for the best price instead of having to say, hey, I want to buy that now. But if you're not going to buy it, still do a price check yourself. Like Eric said, check Amazon.com, check, other sites that might have the same thing. And often I'll type in the item and then the words, for us Canadians, Canada retail. And then I'll check prices at other websites just to make sure, especially when it's a large item, that I'm not getting ripped off, right? Or as I'm getting good value for my money. Cool. And then also check out in the links, I've got a link to the Amazon Prime Insider because sometimes it's overwhelming. There's just too much available on Amazon. And so the Prime Insider will kind of let you know what benefits there are, where to start looking for different deals. And of course, use this with a grain of salt because this information comes from Amazon. And so you want to make sure that you can make your own judgment call as well. So I'm going to take a look at some of the comments here. Dave says, taxes and duty may look cheaper, but not always with final delivery. Good point, Dave. And where are you from, Dave? But yes. And so is that Ohio, right? You're normally from? Because it's nice because on Amazon, they'll calculate everything by the end to you as well. But definitely make sure that taxes and duties and customs and brokerage also make sense for you. So that's usually the last checkout button. So here's another tip, I guess. I never use the buy now button, or because there's a way you can program Amazon that you can just use a buy now button instead of having to go through the cart and confirming payment and delivery options and taxes and duty. And so one thing I want to make sure is that I know the final cost of every item and also the delivery date of every item. Because sometimes even though you say it's on an Amazon Prime page, there might be variants on that page. Like for example, I just bought Toby sunglasses, okay? And there were variants that weren't Prime, right? And so it took like 6 to 10 days to get that item in, whereas another color of the same sunglasses came in literally in 2 days. And so you got to make sure that you want to click through and confirm the pricing. And thank you, Dave Bennett, taxes and duty and shipping dates, even for Prime members, okay? Herman says you can use ca.lightningdrops.com. That functions like Camel. I did not know that. Thank you, Herman. I'm going to add that to the notes. Cool. Dave Bennett, you're in Edmonton. Sweet. Go Oilers. By the way, Toby is currently playing ball hockey at the local rink here, and he is donning his Oilers jersey like a good Edmontonian should, even though we live in Calgary. Sorry, Calgary friends. Okay. And by the way, isn't that amazing? Signing on, McDavid. Unbelievable. Yes. Okay. I digress. No, I'm totally thrown off by that. Thanks, Dave. Anyways, now the verdict. Is it worth it for you to sign up? And this is kind of where the math you have to figure out for yourself. So if you want to keep the yearly membership, right, then it's usually about, if you take like 20 or 30 orders and you choose to get 2-day shipping, because sometimes you can get free shipping if you're willing to wait. Like sometimes I've ordered like literally pens from Japan that take like 3 months to get here, and so 3 months and it's free shipping. But I mean, really 3 months, I forgot what I ordered by then. Weird. Okay, but if you are gonna increase your shipping speed anyways, then it might be worth it to you. And the thing is, this is really the crux of it. There's really no harm in trying it and taking advantage of Prime Days, because that's going to be starting tonight, right? And so definitely check out the links and sign up, okay? And also check out that Prime Insider if you're new to Amazon, or you just want to maximize the deals that you can get in the next couple of days, okay? But hopefully that helps. And even if you miss Prime Day, the lightning deals happen all year round. And Herman, I'm going to check out that lightningdrops.com that you mentioned, because that's also going to be what we want to take a look at too. And Raheemster, oh man, hello, welcome to the live show. I can't believe Toby's friends are watching me live. This is so weird. But hey, man, good job at the volleyball. This is Toby's, by the way, this is Toby's beach volleyball partner. So good job, Ryan, man. And he says on YouTube, can I just add, Toby's sunglasses are sick. Is it just because they look exactly like yours? You guys are like twinsies. Anyways, but cool. Awesome. Welcome to the show, man. This is so awkward. Hey, Ryan, you should go to the ball hockey arena, Hamptons. They're all playing there right now. Zaki's over there too. Shh, shh, secrets. Okay, secrets everywhere. But yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. So thanks for watching and being here. There's also, of course, if you find that somebody might enjoy this or get something out of this, or your friends or Canadianas other than me might like this, please share the video. And also, of course, you can always subscribe at ChineseSecrets.com. But for now, always remember that you can always check out more at ChineseSecrets.com. And tomorrow, hope you'll be here. Join me. 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to have Rob Brown from Panasonic, and we're going to have fun fondling some Panasonic gear. So for now, thank you so much for being here. Cheers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.